What I want to tell you in this video is I'm going to help you become less reliant on the wall warts that come with every electronic device that you purchase. Most electronics run at the same voltage, 12 volts. A lot of them run at 5 volts. And if you're working with professional gear, it often comes with a range of voltages that it can work on. And so if you understand how to look at the specifications for your device, which are written usually on the outside of the device, you can use that information to create your own power supply, or use different power supplies, or combine power supplies, so you're not reliant on a bank of wall warts. Especially, this comes in especially handy if you are building a kit like what I've done, where I've got a LiveView Solo for live streaming. I've got an HDMI splitter in here. I've got a screen in here, 12 volt screen that's powered here, and then also I run an A10 mini off of this thing. So I'm going to show you how to look at this information, how to figure it out, and how to wire up your own electronics. Let's take a look at my mobile rig here right now. It's still under construction, still being built, it's incomplete, but I'll give you the details on how to figure this out. Okay, let's take a look here. I'm going to tilt down here. Okay, so in my box here, I've got a power supply that I picked up on Amazon for probably 40 bucks. Then I've also got, and this power supply is rated for 12 volts, and its output is 20 amps. So the output of 20 amps is kind of like saying the capacity at 12 volts. How much capacity does it have? How many things can it power? So I've also got in here an HDMI splitter, which runs on 5 volts. And then I've got my LiveView Solo in here. And then over here, I've got the screen, and that screen runs on 12 volts as well. All of these devices use these barrel connectors. And most of these barrel connectors are the same size. I think they have, the outside diameter is always going to be the same. At least with all of my electronics. The inside diameter can be somewhat different, and I don't remember what that number is right now. Like, it's 2.5 millimeters versus 2.1 millimeters, and that'll make a difference. That'll make a difference in the ability to fit it in the hole. So I know that for my A10 mini, for example, it had a much larger diameter inner connector. So how do we figure out how to power these devices and what power they require to run? Well, I will show you. Let's take a look at the LiveView Solo. On the bottom here, it says DC input, 12 volts, 3 amps. If you want to know the wattage on this, we would say 12 times 3, 12 volts times 3 amps is 36 watts. So if you ever come across something and it tells you, the power supply tells you its capacity in watts, which is really common, that's how you would figure out how many watts it is. 3 amps is how much draw it has. The important number here that makes all the difference in whether or not you fry something is the 12 volts. Something you probably wouldn't know unless you contacted LiveView is that this actually, I think they sent me the specifications, can use between 9 and 19 volts or something like that. So it has its own power conversion inside, so you can give it a range, which is handy if you have a power supply that provides something different than 12 volts. So that's how you figure that out. There's also one other important piece of information that you need to know from your electronics, and that is on this barrel plug, whether or not the center is hot, which is the plus, or the outside is plus. Almost every electronic device I've ever come across, center is hot. But if you were to wire those up backwards, that's where you would get into trouble, and the smoke would come out of your device unless it has some sort of protection, electronic protection inside. I plugged in the screen one time backwards, and the smoke came out. So when you're doing this, you need to double and triple check that your power is connected correctly. The way I do that is with a multimeter. So before I do that, I want to show you how you can find out whether or not the center is hot. In fact, maybe it says on one of these guys. I don't know why it doesn't say on the live view. Actually, it might if I look really closely. So usually what you'll see on an electronics device, you'll see that there'll be like a symbol here that'll show kind of the outline of a barrel plug connector, and it'll show the center is a plus symbol. Let me go see here. So, yeah. Okay, so this one's handy because, let's see if I can get that in focus, right? On this badge up here, it shows minus on the outside, plus on the inside, and then it shows 9 volts to 20 volts, 30 watts. And so that's how you know how much power it draws. If you don't have enough power from your power supply, like for example, if you were to use a 2 amp power supply, 2 amps times 12 volts, say we use a 12 volt 2 amp power supply, that's only going to supply 24 watts, and that does not have the capacity to power this device. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, but again, this little symbol here indicates the center pin is hot, the outside is common or ground or neutral or negative or whatever. I don't know. People, I think it's negative. I'm not qualified to do electronics, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. That's a really old joke. Most of you won't get. So I'm going to cut that out of the video because I don't want to leave that in. I do fix my own stuff, so I guess that's what gives me the qualification. And if this information is wrong, I'm sorry, but no, it's not wrong. But maybe somebody has more ways to provide some clarity. But just to show you the barrel plug connector thing, so this is my barrel plug for the ATEM. Sorry if it doesn't come in focus. Fits in there just fine. This is the barrel plug for my live view, and it does not fit. So those are different sizes. Okay, so what I got going on here is that I've wired all of these things up to my power supply here. The power supply I picked up on Amazon. I'm running to mains voltage. It's got a switch in the case here, which is really cool. And then over here, there are, I don't know if you can see them, there are 3 plus, 3 minus terminals. So it just gives you extra place to screw down to. And then I've got all of these barrel connectors that I actually cut off of other power adapters. I was gonna buy all of these barrel plugs off of Amazon, and then I decided to save myself 20 bucks and cut them off of all of the numerous power supplies that I no longer use anymore. So you cut them off, you strip off the wire, you put the terminals on hot and ground, and then let's do a power test here. So right now I'm going to switch this to DC voltage, and my red is going to be the center, it's going to be the positive, and the, let me see if I can set this up so you can see it, and this is going to be negative, and yep, so that shows me 12.13 volts with no load, which is perfectly within the safe region for that. And it also doesn't show me the minus sign. Now, if I reverse these, I put the hot on the outside and the ground, or the neutral, the negative on the inside, you'll see it's a minus 12 volts. And that's what you really want to watch out for. You want to make sure that when you screw down the wires to your power supply and you test the barrel connector end, that you have the polarity correct. The hot is on the inside, the ground, the negative is on the outside, and that matches what your device requires for power. So the last thing I should talk about is this HDMI splitter. But what I did is hacked together this little step-down converter. This I pulled out of, as I just was, using cheap parts. You can find a voltage step-down converter on Amazon for 10 or 20 bucks. I pulled this one out of a USB power supply for a car. So cars, the cigarette lighters on those cars and all the power and voltage on those vehicles, at least mine, because mine is 10 years old, is 12 volts. And so the power going into this device is 12 volts, and the power coming out of this is converted down to 5 volts. And so I just ripped apart one of those little car charger deals, which I bought for maybe $6 somewhere, and soldered the leads onto the board. And that was pretty simple. So I'll show you this then. If we check the voltage on this guy. And one of these days I'll go back and clean this up so that my leads aren't so long. But while I was prototyping this thing, so yep, there you go. 5.14 volts DC. The hot is on the inside. The negative is on the outside. If you're gonna wire up these like I've done, and you've just cut the ends off of, say, some power supplies like I did to get the barrel plugs, you might be wondering, how do I figure out which wire is the middle and which one is the sleeve on the outside? And that is where a multimeter comes in. Every multimeter should have a continuity test, and that will basically make a beep when the tips on here connect. So if there's continuity, meaning that it's running along a wire, so I can basically touch the inside here, and then I can find the other end of the wire, and I can touch the two wires, and I can figure out which one is connected to the center pin using that little continuity test on there, which is really easy. So anytime you touch two things that are connected and conduct electricity between them, it will beep. That's really helpful too if you're in soldering and you have contacts like positive and negative on the end of a board, which are really close together, and maybe your solder blobs might touch and you don't know. So before I even powder the thing on, I always put the continuity test on the contacts just to make sure that I haven't somehow connected those two contacts, and then I don't blow stuff up or get the smoke out. So try that. Make sure you try that now. So this is a very practical, another practical demonstration of this technique of using one power supply to power lots of things. So here are several of these, they play music, they're all connected to the Ethernet, but they're all 5 volts and they all draw less than an amp. So what my friend did here is, and I think he's also powering, this Ethernet switch off of it. So we're powering all 4 of those devices off of a single power supply, and no soldering required. This way just found a barrel plug splitter, like a pigtail is I think what they would call that, where it has 4 outs and 1 in, and then a power supply that has enough amperage down here, another wall-wart, enough amperage to drive all 3 of those. So, and the Ethernet switch, which wouldn't be that hard. So if each one of these draws less than an amp, and this thing probably draws half an amp, you could find something that's a 3.5 or 4 amp power supply, and you'd be all set.